Coding with Carl, the show where you watch me learn how to develop Android apps from very little experience in Java or with the Android API or anything. We're on episode 6, which means we spent 5 hours developing our app, and I think we've done pretty well in that time. When we left off yesterday, we had a list view that we could add goals to, like so, and we had started working on this today activity, which we're going to be carrying on with today. So, first things first, let's look at our to-do list. Yesterday we got to the point where we were thinking about slots, and by slots I mean time slots. And what we were thinking about is how we were going to allocate tasks to time slots throughout the day. Now, I've been thinking about pools of tasks recently, and tasks that we will redo on a daily basis. For example, I get up in the morning, I make the bed. That happens every single day. Do I want to type make the bed every day? No, absolutely not. So I think it would be cool if we could have something in here which would just be another integer field called frequency, and that would be the number of times I have done this thing. If we have that in there, we can actually order by frequency when we ask for a list of tasks, and we'll get our most frequent tasks first. What would be cool is if later we could make that a little bit more comprehensive, and we could say how frequently you do a specific task within a goal. So, but right now I don't really want to think about that. I don't want to pollute my consciousness with features that we don't need yet. So let's put that field in. First thing we'll need to do is go back to our main activity and look at where we create the tables. So this is unfortunately means we're going to have to nuke our database again, but it's okay at this point because we don't have any data in there that's significant enough to warrant us keeping it. So here we're going to have a frequency int. Okay, that's good. It's good. Yep. All right. Good evening, Andre. Welcome. Frequency. Okay, right. Next, I want to tidy up some of the log stuff that I put in here that I don't need anymore because it's easy. Don't need that. Much cleaner. Much cleaner. Very nice. Okay, store goal works, view today works. That's it. I think I'm done with this file for now. So let us nuke the database. Settings, apps and notifications, app info. We're going to go focus app. Storage, clear data. There we go. So we run our app without errors now. Drum roll. There we go. New goal. Today activity. Still works. There we are. Okay. So let's jump back into our today activity and think about what we actually want to see here. Now, we've got this, whoa Nelly, nothing planned today. That's a bad thing. You don't want a day where you've got nothing planned. So think the next thing to do is to create our list view for this. And do I do this programmatically or not? Okay, let's load up the today XML. Let's add a list view, if I can find it. List view. And bang that around here somewhere. Add a constraint to this rude boy. Can I do that? No? Why? Okay. Where do I... there, 1616. As well, please. And I want to change all of these to 16, 16, 16. Now, let's run that and have a look. No, there won't be anything in it, will there? No. Okay, so entries. It looks like I can do this manually. Can I? I guess not. Let's do it the way that we're comfortable with right now. We will do it in code. So we'll give this list view a... wow, what is going on with this? This is going to be today slots. Slot list. That makes a lot of sense, yeah. Yes. I think today's slot list. Okay. So we do have this as well here, and they seem to prefer camel case for this. So I'm gonna stay in line. Today title with Android's naming conventions. And we'll need to change a line of code, I think, as well, because we are there. Okay. So, we query the slot table, and we will need to add a selection clause to this at some point. So let's just put a comment there. Where clause on today's timestamps only. Yeah, let's create the list before we run the query to populate it, or do we? Does it matter at this point, Carl? Just do it there. Okay. So, I'm going to use let's create a string list for now. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. Array list of type string, slot list equals, I can't remember how to do it. Let's have a look. New array list. And we are going to create 48 slots within this list. Eduardo, the answer to your question is maybe. I have no idea because I am just learning Java myself and I've only got 5 hours experience with it. So for now we're going with the techniques that we've already used successfully. But if it turns out that you're right, we will come back to it on later streams and fix it. So this is a for loop. I'm not really sure with Java, so I'm just going to let the autocorrect sort me out. We'll do a is integer not a type? Equals not. I is less than 48. I plus plus. Can I do that, please? Can Can I? Yeah, looks like it. Or can I? Can I resolve symbol I? Long. Sure. Let's just check, because it's not good to be ignorant. Java data types. So that's a 16-bit signed integer. Int would be fine, I think. Can I do that? Okay, I guess they're all signed, maybe. Or maybe scan reading is not a good idea. Let's pad this out. And there we are, no need for apologies in this stream, my friend. Okay, so for each one of these we are going to add an entry to our list, and we will need to, let's just get that working first, I think, yeah. So we will add a string. How do we do that? Do we do it like slot list dot add string, and then we'll just do I guess. Can I cast that as a string, or is it I to string? Or something like that. No? What about a new string? Oh god. How do you convert an integer to a string in Java? Let's have a look. Integer.toString. I guess I was right with that one. Does that work then? I.toString. No! Oh, okay. So that should give us our slot list, and then we will need to create an adapter for it, if I remember rightly. So it'll be new array adapter. There we go, array adapter of type string, items adapter, new array, and contact, and yeah, okay. Let's see how much of that I can remember, just so I can get it into my head. So array adapter. String type, and we'll call that our slot adapter equals new array adapter. We don't need that. The context will be this, and I'm going to fine, Android Studio will do it your way, and I believe it's Android .r.layout.simple_list_item1. And what was the third parameter? I cannot recall. The list, which would be slot list. Okay, and then of course we need to populate our, so that would be, well, we actually need to get it first, so it'll be list view. What do we call this? Our list view, slot list view equals find view by ID, and that's going to be, is it r.id? I am remembering dot today list, today slot list. I think that this Vim plugin is having trouble keeping up with me. Is there a second argument to that? I can't remember. No. And then we will do slot list view dot set adapter slot adapter. Does that work? We have errors. We have an error here. Cannot resolve symbol string. Yes, of course, because it's capitalized. What else do we have? Do we have, I'm guessing, warnings? 4 warnings found. We have one here. Unused import statement for intent, yeah, because we don't need that anymore. We have field can be converted into a local variable. It can at the minute, but I'm feeling that we might want that later on, so I'm going to leave it as it is. We have to do another one. That could be a null pointer exception, and it will be a null pointer exception because we are doing it when on the case that cursor is null, so we need to do that there and there. And we also have an error here. String literal in set text cannot be translated. That's right. That should be in our strings table. So if we do decide to keep that, which I strongly think we won't, strings table, that should go in the strings table. Alright, let's run this and see what happens. How is our CPU usage today? Looks okay. Where are we? Emulator. Here we are. There we go. That went pretty well, guys. Although it is rather buggy. There we go. It just doesn't like my scroll. Yeah. Okay. So each one of these things corresponds to a half-an-hour slot, and our next job is going to be labeling those with the proper time. How do we do this? We could do it with a Unix timestamp and then format that timestamp, and that might be a cool way to do it. So if we do where it was when we create the there. If we I'll just refresh my memory here. We have 24 times 60 times 60 seconds in a day, 86,400. So if we modulo this by 86,400 and then divide that by 1000, we should have the timestamp that is the top of the current day. Should. Now what modulo does, if you've never seen it before, is it essentially gives you the remainder of that division. So what we would need to do is first of all get the timestamp need to do an operation on it, so we'll do Unix time equals Unix time. Okay, so this may look scary, but it's not. All we're doing is we're getting the current Unix timestamp, that's the number of seconds since 1970. We then do an operation that says take that timestamp and subtract the remainder when we divide it by 86,400, and then we divide it by 1,000. I want to do that first. Which one's going to happen first there? The module will happen first there, so that should work. And then let's just make sure it does. So we'll log.i info call top of the day, and then can I just tack that on? Is that cool? Will you allow me to do that, Java? Maybe it will. I want to run that and see what happens. Where is the log? Okay. So according to this, the top of the day is that number. Let's have a look at epoch converter. It's a really handy website that converts from Unix timestamp to human days. There we go. That is not right at all, is it? Because the time on that is 4:50. So it looks as if this did not work at all. And I've probably just made a really stupid mistake, and people are probably laughing. Okay. Let's just be really verbose about it. Does that change anything? What is slowing down my machine today? Is it VLC? Is it Spotify? Where are you? Go away. There we go. Okay, so run it again, see what happens. Okay, so now we're in milliseconds. So I've screwed something up there. Yeah, I have. See what that does. So this is me coding, guys. Lots and lots of trial and error, lots of silly mistakes made. It's okay. It's absolutely fine because we get there in the end. Yeah, again, this is just wrong. Did I do something? What was it? Was it 24 times 60 times 60? Okay, so let's do like PHP, what do they call it? scratch pad. JS fiddle. So let's just do like, what's the timestamp now? Do this. Mod 86,400. Run that. Can I now just get raw output from this? Do I have Node.js installed? Yes, okay, let's try that. This modulo 86400. That gives us the remainder. So if I do this minus this modulo 86400, then it gives us that. Copy. Okay, so the logic is sound, but the modulo operator in Java seems to behave differently. Ah, of course. We need to divide it by 1,000 first, otherwise the math's all wrong, isn't it? So let's do that. That should work. That looks more like it. That looks saner. Copy. There we go, 12 AM. Perfect. Okay, so now we have something that we can use as a baseline. So if we do, instead of this, every time we iterate after we do that, we will increment it. We will do Unix time plus equals, and it will be, let's actually put the math in, it will be, how many seconds? It will be the number of seconds in a 30-minute slot, so it'll be 30 times 60. And it's a little bit wasteful to do that calculation on every iteration, but this is only a small app and this is only a small task, so it should be fine. And here what we'll need to do is format this timestamp. So let's have a look at Java format Unix timestamp. Okay, so it looks like we have to convert to milliseconds first. So let's do date, cur date equals new date, and then we've got the Unix timestamp times 1000 long. Wow, this plugin is not keeping up with me today. Yeah, that gives us something that we can work with. And then we need to format it, so in this label, yeah, look at that, look at the delay there. May restart this program. Appears to have a memory leak or something. So yeah, in here, now we need to format this date, so we'll do cur date, and then format. What can I do with that? first of all, let's fix this problem. It must be to string, and it must have so I guess we need this simple date format as well. So simple date format CDF current date format equals new simple date format, and then we want minutes, sorry, we want hour, minute. And then we will have here this CDF dot format, and then the current date. Plugin, keep up. Now we are probably laden with errors, so let's have a look what we got here. To use a locale. Will it work? Let's have a look. It starts at 1, and I strongly suspect that that is because we are in UK time, and UK time is currently +1 hour. Sorry, question on the stream. Do you do custom app programming? Not really. This is my first Android app, and I haven't done any iOS work either. Usually I do JavaScript or C or PHP. Okay, so let's try adding a locale then. Maybe we need one. We will do it with it seems to be on this CDF, so CDF dot set time zone, and it will be time zone dot get time zone, and I just want UTC. Okay, this looks good, but we do want these in 24-hour format, so I've screwed up here with the hours. Let's try caps. Okay, now it's looking more like what we want to see. Not bad for half an hour's work, guys. Not bad at all. Right, so next thing, let's clean up a bit. Let's get rid of this. Do we want to put all that on one line, or is it better like that? That's okay for now. Yeah, that's alright. Okay, so the next thing I'd like to do is I would like to set up a click event on each of these list items. And I'm not really sure how we do that. is it something we can do on the list view itself? How would I do that? Android list view on item click. So I'm using some kind of lambda function there. Dots set item set on item selected listener. And then we need a new adapter view. Wow. Okay. This is fast becoming spaghetti code, everyone. On item selected, on nothing selected. So on item selected, we will just log dots log.i tag call, and in here we'll do dot something Mr. And then can we do view.text maybe? Tack on view.text. Let's see. Let's run it. Something happened there. I'm not seeing any of our list. I'm not seeing any of our list stuff. Click, select. Nothing going on. Nothing going on. Stop trying to be clever and try that. Although I suspect I'd be seeing errors if that was the problem. Always good to rule out things. Nothing there. How does this work? Ah, we made the same mistake as the person on Stack Overflowed it. Click listener. And I guess all of this needs to change too. Yeah, can you auto-complete that for me please, Android Studio? Do you know what, guys? I'm just going to restart Android Studio because it is really lagging. New. New adapter view. There. Thank you. This is looking better. Okay, so log.I call. To be capitalized. Message begins. Hello there. View dot to string, and that needs to be concatenated. Any difference there? Boom. Now the to string thing isn't working, and I'm guessing that's because we need to do things somewhat differently. Is it extra? Is it something to do with extra? No. Is it get text? How do we add data to our list items? View.get. What do we have here? Position. Position. Maybe it's that. But then you'd need to maintain an array that had data for each position in the list. This guy did it. Dot get position. Yeah. So he's maintaining his list separately. Seems okay to me. I've done worse things. Position 2, position 5, position 8. Okay. Yeah, that's alright, we can do that. So if we keep our list, is it in scope here? That's the question. If we so let's maintain a separate list, and we'll maintain a list of integers. We'll do it with array list, and I'm doing it this way rather than using a fixed size array because I'm trying to get used to the syntax. It will be time list equals new array list, and then every time, whoa Nelly, is it like that? Why is this wrong? Can I not have an array of integers? Cannot be a primitive type. Okay, so I guess I am going to have to do a fixed size array, and it doesn't matter because there's only 48 of them, right? So we'll do int 48. Is it that way? How do you declare an array? Actually, no. No, this is not what I want to do at all, is it? Yes, it is. Yeah. Equals no timestamp. Is that legal? No. Declare an array of integers in Java. Sure. Okay, so that's an array that will hold 48 timestamps corresponding to each period throughout this day. It'll essentially be the slot's time. I'm a little bit worried about the way we've done this, to be honest, because if you're on a different time zone, does it matter? Does it matter? Not at the minute. Don't get bogged down in it. So we will here we will do timestamps dot add. No, we won't. We will do timestamps I equals Unix time. What? What is the problem now? Found long. Cast it to an integer and the problem goes away. Yeah, and then down here, hopefully, we are still in scope. So let's see if that works. I want this message to go away forever. Hello there, and look, I don't know if you can see this, but we are receiving the timestamp down here. Yeah, you can see it. That's good. That is really good. So now we can create an intent to pass this on to another view and use that to create a task at that timestamp. So let's do, how do we create a new view? Is it new activity? new activity, empty activity. And we're going to call this one task activity. Activity task. Finish. Yes, I want to add it to version control. Okay, so on create, we're going to get back into the intents thing that we did previously. And I can't remember how to do it, so let's do creating your first Java Android Studio application. In here, and we did this step was fine, run your app was fine, build a simple user interface, and that was all fine. Start another activity. Intent, build an intent, there we go. So in our in here where we're logging out the data, we will do intent equals new intent, this, and then it's task activity dot class. Obviously we need to fix this problem here, import class, and then we are going to send through, so we're going to do intent dot put extra the key, which is going to be, we'll just put that as timestamp for now, and we will give it timestamps position as a value, and then start activity intent. What is wrong here? What's the problem here? Cannot resolve constructor. Anonymous. Why? Is it because the context is somehow different here? Let's go back a few steps here. Can we? No, we can't. Get list view.get context. Let's try that. Okay. Will you work? Coming up towards the end of the stream, I'd like to get this passed through to my new activity before we end today. Echo stop. Okay, so it went through to the new activity. That's good. So let's pick that up, and if I remember rightly, GG. Yeah, look, we stashed this away last stream so that I could use it. And if we go to task activity here, I can now use it. So it's going to be string. It's not a string. It is a. Is it a string? First of all, let's solve this problem here. And this is just going to be timestamp. And then let's try just logging it out, because we have reached the end of today's stream. Log.i string the ts. And we'll solve this problem here as well. And that needs a tag. Okay. Any good? Today view. Click 130. No, we have broken it. What was the problem? Fatal exception. Unable to start activity component info. We've broken something here. Key timestamp expected string, but was an integer. Let's have a look at the intent that we created. Yes, we passed it, an integer. This is true. Can we have that, please? Integer.toString the ts. What's the problem here? Cannot be applied to Java lang string. Does this have to be like put? No, that should work, yeah. That should be fine. So what's the problem here? I don't know what the problem there is. Will it run? Probably not. Method getting extra in class intent cannot be applied to given types. String int. Found string. Alright, so I'm guessing there's a different. Is it just that? Name int default value. Is that okay? Let's have a look. Where's my log gone? There. Call. There it is. There is our timestamp. This is great. So we have today populated our list view for the Today Planner with a list of 30-minute slots throughout the day, and when we click one of those slots, we are passing the timestamp of that slot through to our new activity, which tomorrow or the day after we will be able to assign a task to. Good progress. So that's the end of today's stream. If there are any questions, please feel free to ask them now. If not, I will be around in a couple of days, either tomorrow or the day after for the next stream, where you'll be able to ask me any questions. As always, we will commit our changes to version control, and we will do end of episode 6, and then in here we populated our list of slots in the today view and added click handler. Commit. I will close down the emulator. And also, all the back episodes for these streams, guys, are now on YouTube. If you do a YouTube search for Coding with Carl, you'll find them. We're right up to date now. Everything up to yesterday's stream is on there. And we don't seem to have any questions today, which is good because we're over time anyway. I'll give you a couple of minutes for the stream to catch up, and then I will bid you farewell. Let's have a look at our to-do list. Frequency, we've done that. So next time, on to the next stream, we will look at the today view again, in terms of the rendering of it, and we will do the activity, task activity, in which we will take the timestamp that we passed and create a task. If required, we will also assign task to slots by entering a row in the slot table. Great. Okay guys, I'm going to call it a day there. Thank you for joining me today. As always, I've enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next stream. Bye.